All right, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Island Up in Sports. So the world really is up and up in China. And this morning we woke up to races. I know really, and we have with us Mr. Marlo Kinghorn. Mr. Marlo Kinghorn is a distinguished person in this track and field area. I'm gonna allow him to introduce himself to you because you're gonna see more when he come on to the track and field season. So I want you to get familiar with him. Welcome, Mr. Kinghorn.
Yeah, man. Greetings, blessing and honor. It is very. I'm feeling very good to be um introduced or asked to be a part of this program by a great man. Actually, before I introduce myself, let me share something about this gentleman we have here, Mr. Leonard Duane. He's the first president I ever meet in real life. You know, when I I went to when I went to college, the greatest place on earth,
Yeah.
GC Foster College. As a matter of fact, there are two type of people in the world: those who attended GC Foster and those who wish they attended. So when I attended there, went there in 2002, we hear about president and all of these people. So we come from country, so where I say president, we know principal, so where I say, wait, this is money must be bigger than the principal. But so we used to head boy and everything there in high school. But I was so fortunate to even be selected to be on the dorm with the president. So that was a big thing for me. So
Yes.
I'm feeling great. And once a president, always a president. So let me get into Marlo Kinghorn. I am Coach Kinghorn. Also a teacher. I teach currently at Glengoff High School. I have coached numerous high school teams before. Still coaching at Glengoff. Did some coaching at St. Mary's College as well. I did some coaching with Idel in past and also represented Jamaica as a junior coach at the knockout level. So I managed to have some experience in track and field, and also being that I'm a past student of the GC Foster College with all of these sport people and keep in touch with them. Sport is like my first love, so pretty much that is Marlo Kinghorn.
A man who have a vast experience in the track and field area. And also a man who have gone to champs almost every year in his career and got points. Yeah.
Definitely,
Yeah.
definitely. It's a
So
big
today, as
deal.
I said, I don't think many Jamaican are aware of this meet. To be honest, this world relay in China. Um, if you don't follow the sports, you would not know because we are Jamaican. We go for the big meets. We go for the Olympics or the World Championship. But it is very important. It's actually a qualifying. It's also qualifying for the big one in September. But let us go straight into it because, as I said, it started 6 o'clock this morning, Jamaica time, right? How was the day for you? You watch your races. How was the day for you? Were you disappointed? Because we're gonna break down all the races, but overall, just give me what happened. Were you disappointed with how the day went?
Definitely to wake up in the morning as a track and field lover. We're all sport lover, but personally, track and field is my thing.
Right.
My first love. To wake up in the morning, like last night before I went to bed, I tried to search and get some information as to the team. Sometimes we normally have one and two inside link within the camp to ask who is there, what is happening, because whenever we have these um these international meets going out, and athletes have to travel far, especially almost halfway around the world, there is always some challenges, maybe flight, visa issues, and so forth. And then there's also the whole thing of athletes being from different camps, and
Yeah.
coaches from different camp, and coaches have to manage the seniors, which I know learned that it is more difficult to manage seniors than juniors whenever they represent country, because there are so many different factors in it. But when I saw the races, I was expecting Jamaica to definitely learn from some of the mistakes made last year, and put together a very strong team, because this is a very serious and crucial meet, um, qualifying meet as well. So I expected, based on the type of athlete we have, for us to be very dominant in the female 4x1. And we have the senior and love Shelly there. We have Jacko, Sherika. We have the twins. We have Natasha Morrison. We have a lot of athletes who are very competent. So I was expecting, and the whole Jamaica was expecting easy qualification right there. So for that event, they did qualify. They came second in their heats, by surprised by Spain. Spain actually ran a national record to get us there. But in those events, especially in the prelims, coaches would normally say to the athletes, pass the stick around safely and ensure
Safely.
that you qualify, because actually it's top two.
Yes.
I'm personally expecting, all being well, tomorrow, when the adrenaline turn up and the business end come, where the medals will be issued out, Jamaica will turn up the notch and take victory there.
All
Um,
right. So I don't want you to go stray too far, because we're gonna look on tomorrow in a different aspect. But let's just break down the race. The races. This first one on the track was the mixed 4x1 for males, right?
Male and female.
Yes, male and female. Sorry, mixed. To be honest, I wasn't too familiar with a lot of them. A lot of the runners, there was some young runners there. The names haven't popped up as yet in Jamaica. Maybe you, as a person, track person, know other people, know the people, but a man outside would not know. They won that heat. But the ankle leg was kind of shaky for where I was sitting. I was watching the race. The ankle leg was kind of shaky. Take me through that first race, the very first, the mixed relay for
All
Jamaica.
right. So that first race definitely would have a very experienced and somewhat, well, I must say, in shape athlete leading off that team, in Natasha Morrison.
Natasha Mar, yes.
Natasha Morrison, yes, led the team and gave a very good effort to a youngster, Crystal Slowly, young and upcoming athlete. She did extremely well. To the changes were good there, did extremely well. And then would have gone to Jabari Thomas, and then the ankle leg runner. The ankle leg runner is a upcoming athlete, new to track and field to this level. We have not seen much of him, but he did the job. However, he didn't look as explosive as Hungry. And in this thing called track and field, athletes sometimes can only do what they are capable of doing. And the day, what I am, based on my research, I am told that in the mixed relays, they're only allowed one change.
Mm-hmm.
Um, if it was up to me, or in my own view, I would make a change to remove the ankle leg and bring in the youngster that you formerly from Edwin Allen, Brian Lovell, with
Novel,
more
yeah.
speed and some experience. But definitely, if we really want to win that race, which we can win also, it is a new event. It is the first. It is a debut
Yeah.
event,
New
very
event,
new,
right.
and it somewhat can be a tricky one, especially the second to the third leg, where a female will hand over to a male. So the males tend to be more explosive and fast. So once the baton exchange is good, I think that Jamaica should go about zero point 0.5 of a second faster, and that should
I
take
was
home
I
the
was
gold.
just about to ask you that 4104. If you think they could go faster, that I was asking that.
Definitely, definitely. They will go faster. What I can say based on experience again in the prelims, especially the very technical event, the non-visual, the explosive relay, the 400-meter relay. One of the aim is to try as best as possible to pass the stick around safely, and finish in the automatic position. Um, as Jamaicans, we mark hard. With the exploits of Usain Bolt and Shelley and all those persons. One time, to make the final was a big deal. To get even a bronze medal was a big deal. Now, if you don't win, Jamaicans really mark hard. If you don't win, you're not nobody. And sometimes when you do win and you're a superstar, you still get blamed, so you should have broke the record. So
Yeah.
it is what it is right there. But I am expecting them to do well. The team did fairly good enough to qualify, and that's a feel good feeling right there.
All right. So the next race was, and we are talking races that Jamaica is involved in. Was a mixed 4x4 relay, and we ran out of each one, and we placed sixth out of seven team. Jamaica
uh,
with a time of 3 minutes and 18. What happened? I personally think Jamaica have a big 400-meter problem. You're on the ground, you're the coach, you're involved. What happened? What is happening by our 4x4? Remember last year, we tried so many times to qualify and didn't. But they believe the world champion or the Olympics, one of them. So what is happening with the 400? We didn't qualify here.
um, so let me give my take on that race, and then I can share some other views as it relates to the 400-meter. Because I think pretty much it's a two-part question you ask.
Yeah,
First and foremost, that team this morning, from the moment I saw it, I know that we would have some issues, we would have some problem, because of the athletes that were there. Um, there's an old saying that I learned from a former coach that goes like this: that the fastest donkey in the world cannot beat the worst racers. Um, in
yeah.
saying that, I don't think you hear what I said a while ago,
No man, I hear you man. You said the coach told you that the fastest donkey in the world
Donkey in the
cannot be.
world cannot beat the worst
I
racers.
heard you, man. I heard you.
All right, so um, not to disrespect the athletes there, and not to disrespect the coaches, at these championship, or most of these championship, when it comes to really, I know the coach is supposed to be going through hell and back. It is because the truth is, we have some of the best coaches in the world, in Jamaica and in the world, there
Yeah.
guiding and preparing these athletes. And you see, the thing is, we have to use who we have, and it would seem as if there are some challenges within the camp, because some of the athletes who were initially named in the squad for the world really noticeable is not there. And what happened is that they use who they have, and it is very embarrassing to see the mediocre performances, because since morning in various groups and various persons that I would have discussion with, was saying basically that it would be better if they carry some of the high school athletes who are in farm. So more than one thing I think happened. Some of the athletes are not in farm, not in shape at this time based on the periodization of the program, and are some athletes are having niggles and injury scare, and and the season is long, and no athlete want to have injury. And I also get word that there are some, some persons who were initially selected in the last minute opted to withdraw themselves because of various issues, and then to get better replacement there were some challenges even with visa issues and so forth. So it is disappointing to see us finishing down the pecking order, especially running 3 minutes 18.
Yeah.
That's disappointing. It means that everybody performed below expectation, and I think Team Jamaica and the athletes, because as we say, some of the time we cannot blame the coaches. These are professional and these are senior people, and these meet deal with bread and butter, but also I think some of these athletes don't take it as serious as possible to know that um, the people the Jamaicans, the diehard Jamaicans who really love track and field, we're hurt because since morning, we know a lot of track and field fans right now supposed to drink some special or something somewhere to recover
Yeah.
because it was a very disappointing morning for us. So I personally think that we don't get the 4x4, the mix 4x4 right. We don't take it serious, while other countries are taking it serious. Other countries are sending out their best quarter milers, male and female, and really putting down them foot and putting out a good enough team, especially countries that are not very dominant. I see in races where even Kenya in sprint relays, sprint
Mhm.
event, Kenya qualify for sprinting events because them taking it serious. And I think some of our Jamaican athletes need to understand the seriousness of this. We don't take the mix 4x4 serious. We don't put together and some very strong teams, and
But let me ask you,
hence
are these relays being
what
introduced
happened this morning,
but
disappointing,
are,
very disappointing.
are these relays being introduced at boys and girls champs? Are the youngsters introduced to these relays? Oh, hello?
In Jamaica, I see where some I think at Gibson really they try to introduce it, but there's a
Oh.
drawback. I think at some meets too, more than one track meets in Jamaica now. I see where they try to introduce it, but there's a certain drawback. I don't think this event can be seriously contested at boys and girls champs.
Mm-hmm.
Because the majority, the top 3 schools are the top 4 schools in Jamaica, and the boys side are all boys school, so they wouldn't have any girls to mix.
Yeah, yeah. I see
And
what
then
you're
the top
saying.
3 schools,
Yeah.
well, they're going, but they have a dominant girl program. So I don't think
Yeah,
it
I see
would
what
be
you're
fair
saying.
to
I see
other
what you're saying.
schools
Yeah.
in terms of points for that event to be contested,
The
all
all
boys
boys
school
school,
and the all girls school,
the all boys school is
who are
at a disadvantage already. They can't feel anything.
definitely.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. I see what you're saying. All right, so we move to the next one now. The next event was the women 4x100 meter. Jamaica run out of E2. They did a time of
Yeah,
42.5.
man, and the all girls school would be at a disadvantage.
Are you hearing me? Marlo, you hearing me? Hello?
Repeat that.
Are you hearing me now?
Yeah, I'm
Seems
hearing
like
you. It's a little bit muffled, but I'm hearing you. I'm
right.
hearing.
I was moving to the next event, the 4x100 for female, for women. This is the one with now Tina, Tia, Shelly, and Sharika. Um very, very disappointed with result for Jamaica. Very, I must tell you straight up. We thought we would blow away that field with the mega stars that we have on this team. What say you? We're having some issues.
I wouldn't say that I'm very disappointed with the team because it is only the Eats again. It is a qualifying.
Hmm.
And one of the best thing that happened in the qualifying is that the stick was passed around and safely, and there wasn't any fumble with the
Hmm.
stick being passed around. Um, there are some persons who I think did not come to the explosive, destructive performance that we are used to. Nonetheless, that team is a very strong team. We have two very experienced person on that team, as in Shelley that ran the backstretch and Sherika who anchored. Um, I personally think that they can also go about almost a second faster or half a second faster, which definitely would have them running um, 41 mid, and that definitely is a gold medal. The Americans are not there. However, it took Spain a national best effort to beat the team this morning. Um, so I'm not disappointed. I have concerns though about the level of explosiveness from the anchor leg. I'm not certain that our beloved Jacko, I'm not sure whether what type of shape she's in, and definitely she's not in the best of shape. We know that these athletes tend to run super fast when it comes to our national trials and the peak at the right time. You know, Stephen Francis tend to do that best. But with what they displayed today and at the time, we're now in mid early May. I think that based on the button pass and the execution, they did well, and I am certain that come tomorrow at the business end when the medals are issued, all being well and no fumble, um, they no one will beat them. I am putting my faith. Hope that I'm not disappointed, but I think that they will win.
The next thing to look out are what should I say now? Very interesting is that although Jamaica
You
run,
hearing me, Mr. Duane?
yeah man, I'm hearing you hearing me? Hello? You hearing me? Seems
Yeah,
like
man,
we
I'm
have
hearing you clearly.
all right. So what I'm saying is that
Yeah,
very interesting.
yeah, man, I'm hearing you. I'm hearing you.
All right, very interesting is that although Jamaica run
Yes, sir, I'm
42
hearing you
point,
clearly.
although Jamaica run 42.5 per second, the American run won their heats in 42.8. Hello? We have some
Yes.
technical. Are you hearing me, Mr. Kinghorn?
You're breaking up a little bit.
Oh, I'm breaking up. I was
Yeah, man,
saying
I'm
that
hearing you now. You're breaking up a little bit. But I'm hearing you now.
although Jamaica came second in 42.5, America, USA won their heats in 42.8. Interesting times.
Yes,
Seems like we have some technical
yes.
difficulty. Yeah.
It is interesting. But as I'm saying that that team.
Talking on. Hello?
You hearing me now?
Yeah, I'm hearing you now. Yeah.
Okay, I was saying that despite the fact that the Americans ran that time,
Yeah.
they're on paper. All right, something special about this 4x1 female that we have, women team that we have. Um, Tia and Tina Clayton, barring there's any changes coming tomorrow, which I strongly doubt there'll be any changes to that team. Tia
Mhm.
and Tina, the twin sisters, have, are very experienced relay runners. As a matter of fact, they were both on the world junior team that broke the world record twice. And they
Yeah.
have, I don't think they have ever run on any team that don't win a relay from probably class 4 at Edwin Allen all the way to class 1. And whenever they go to every world junior meet, they win or they break world records. So they are very experienced. Shelly is also very experienced and a safe and we know what Shelly can do. Her season opener this year, she ran 10-9, which is very nippy for a lady at her age. But we know who Shelly is. So those youngsters are very experienced. And when it comes to relay, it requires focus, it requires discipline, and experience is also a good tool to have right there. The American team is not the strongest team because we don't see some of the big names there, but nonetheless, really is about cohesiveness and how efficient the baton is passed along with foot speed. Um, we have seen in past where Jamaica would have had 1, 2, 3 in Olympics or World Championship and still lose. However, at this meet, based on what I'm seeing and the times the team run, I see where Jamaica will go fast, and it is the tradition, it is history. For we have never in history of any major championship gone into the final and run slower unless there's a serious issue. So I think they will run faster. Other teams will run faster too, but I am seeing where our athletes will come out tomorrow, especially with the disappointment happening. You know, I am expecting them to do well.
You say you don't see anyone coming in. Do you see? Do you the baton exchange this morning between the ladies, or was that it?
Ah, there are minor. It. I would say I would give them a pass, a passing grade for it. It looks smooth. It looked good. Um, the only thing was I don't think that they gave their best or their full 100% effort with running the distance between. So I wouldn't say that the baton exchange would have been a major issue for them. I think that they ran safe. That is what I personally think, and it's just that we are hoping that the anchor leg runner for us in Sherka Jackson, will definitely turn up, collect the baton properly, and run. Um, like what she's used to. She's very experienced there. But it is a view of many that, even though she is always anchoring, it is a view of many that they think that she would be better on some other leg in some other place. And some persons feel like Shelley would be better on the anchor leg because she's more reactive. She generates speed quicker. She accelerates fast and she chases better. But at the end of the day, both of them is in the team, and the coaches know best there. They are the experts, and they are the best that we have. So they know best based on the situation.
Okay. So my morning was very spoiled this and I almost stopped watching when this event occurred because I had so many faith in these guys now, the men's 4x1. Right? When that fall up happened, brother. May I tell you the truth, we don't feel like we say, yo. Right through there I was thinking about it. Um what happened? What happened? We had a good team. We the mix up between Fort and you and Blake. Kishen didn't get to collect. I wanted to see him on that anchor. What really happened in that race?
Oh boy, it is something that you see, you see, that relay team, of all the teams, I expected them to be clear. I expect them to bully everybody based on what I saw on the team. You know,
Yeah.
I was more concerned about Kishian getting the baton because Kishian in that team, Kishian is the most inexperienced relay runner. He would have run some relays for his alma mater, where he's coming from out in Clarendon there. You know, but that school is not one of the school that is dominant with some big super relay team.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, as a senior, I have not seen him run much really. And at the Olympics last year, we clearly see that inexperience got the better of him. He did not handle the passing and the relay well, so to speak. Uh the team looked well. There seems to be some fumble between first and second leg, but I was so taken aback. I don't know what really happened. I would like to hear what is Johan and Julian situation. Ah, Johan, we all know Johan is a grandfather in this thing.
Mhm.
Um, when it comes to the relay, though, he's very experienced. He's on all the world record breaking relay teams for Jamaica. Nonetheless, that's like a couple years ago. He's not at his best shape, but we can't speak to the shape that he's in because he didn't even get to run. Um, I don't know what happened between the second and the third leg, but there's one thing I must say. Um, I don't know how focused some of these athletes are. You know, it is very difficult when we're coaching junior athletes to get them to be focused doing technical events, because one mistake can cost the whole event. Maybe long jump, hurdles, high jump, and relay is a technical event as well because it include passing a runner for implement between each other. So one have to be very focused and the zone, running on your side of the lane. There are three basic instructions given when the baton is to be passed. The incoming runner, we learn at GC Faster, call, look, and put. Apparently, the call was made, and maybe there was a put before the look. It seemed the baton
Yeah.
just didn't exchange, and it was if the baton was not passed into the outgoing runner hand, if there's either one out of two things, either the person didn't steady them hand or they pulled down the hand. Clearly the hand was up. And it is the onus all the time of the incoming runner to ensure that the baton is placed into the outgoing runner hand. I've seen really other relays where, and we have seen it in the past, where athletes go as far as hold on to them partner and put in the baton.
Yeah.
Um, so I'm very, that is the most disappointing event for me of the morning to really see, especially with those senior athletes, those experienced senior athletes. The fumble happened there. I think that shook the entire nation and track and field world. And it is something where only those two athletes can really explain what really happened.
I I I I get I am understanding that some teams have a next chance. I don't know if because we drop the button we are out completely, but tomorrow some qualifying. I do you have any do you have anything about that? Anything?
Yes, I did some research, and it is not necessarily a next chance. It is something similar to what happened at Penn Relay, in a different form. What is happening is like a cancellation run. The teams who made the final, they will challenge the top 8 team. They will challenge for the medal and the money. However, the rest of teams, all the other teams, will get a second chance to compete and run the qualifying time because it's top 32. So the top 8 automatically um make it to the world championship, and they will compete for the prize, because
Mm.
from first to 8, I think the winning prize for the relay is 40,000 US, and it come down to about 2,000 are about $3,000, somewhere around about there for who finish 8th. So in order to make a food or make a money, as Jamaican people normally say, you have to finish the race, because we see where people drop back and take it up and finish the race, because $2,000 is better than $0.
Yeah.
But what will happen is that I know that all the teams who attend the World Relay basically get 2 chance to compete. But
Mhm.
even if Jamaica men, they will get a chance to compete or rerun tomorrow. If they do even run, which I am anticipating that they will run faster than the team that eventually win the gold medal. Once they pass around the baton with that quality team, I'm expecting them to run faster than the team who actually win the gold medal. They are getting a second chance to carry the stick around and qualify, because as it is now, they are not qualified. So all the teams are getting like a cancellation run to run and get themselves, run a time or a fast enough time to get themselves
Yeah, this-
into the top 32 qualifying nations.
Okay. Let's hope they do good there. The 4x4, both for women 4x4, we run out of each three. We were placed sixth, and there were six competitors in the race. I don't want to tell you that Jamaica came last. I'm not gonna say that. But there was only six competitors, and we placed six. The females, we run a time of 3 minutes 3:40. Again, what
Ah,
is that mean with our 400? What is that mean? Oh, boy.
I no, I have to put my hand on my head for the one here. Let me first look at the time and put the time into perspective. If those senior athletes were at champs, they would finish probably 7th at girls' champs.
Girls champs.
At girls' champs, yes, they would
Oh,
finish probably 7th. Um, so make we look over pen really. I know that we see where Idle ran 3 minute 30. So those school girls would embarrass them. I don't know exactly what happened, but on the female 4x4 team, the athletes that I see go out there for Jamaica, they are not quarter milers. They are not known to be quarter milers. We see where we
mm,
have about 2 full-time sprinters contesting that event. Again, I would have, by the wayside, I would have asked question, and I heard that some of the athletes who were supposed to compete were not available either by injury or some persons pull out last minute. The team entered, and I think that they had to run. They have to run a team, and some persons really were asked to contest the event. Hence, the embarrassing feeling and the embarrassing look, and it don't look good for us. You know, this psychologically will affect the coaches much more the athletes that go out there and contest and run. That's embarrassing. Some of these high school kids here, a lot of them in some groups I see where they are saying that, hey, they would give them a run for their money and embarrass them. But it is not a good feeling. It is embarrassing. We have never seen this low from the 4x4. And as a matter of fact, when it comes to the 400 meter in Jamaica, we're having an issue, especially on the male side. Would have
yeah.
seen where our collegiate athletes on the female side have been doing very well. Last year we have Nikisha Price, who should have been a part of this makeup. Um, we see where she broke the national record, a long-standing record that Graham Fenton had for many years, running 48, putting her as one of the world leader. However, I personally know that she would have run out of some steam at some point in the season, because the collegiate season, this collegiate circuit is very tough, and should have run many races, and to come in the Olympics she didn't do as well. But the point and the fact still remains that she have a 48 on her belly and a lot of 49. So we have been doing well on the female side. We would have seen Cherokee, we would have seen quite a few other female athletes doing very well and being very competitive in that event. And the 4x4 is not so bad for the female. On the flip side, with the men, I can safely say that we haven't been doing well. Some would argue the point that Antonio Watson won world championship, the last world championship.
Yeah.
And we cannot take anything away from him because he competed, he challenged all that was there, and he defeated all. But if we should know from Antonio Watson won that event into the Olympic last year, I see where a high profile, super talented Kerani James ran that 400 final at the Olympics and ran about 43, sorry, ran 43.8 faster than our national record and still finish in fifth position, faster than what Watson won with. None of our Jamaicans made it to the final. And I can take us back to memory lane where we struggled to qualify for that same 4x4 last year. Because some
Mhm.
of these same Jamaicans were saying that they want to focus on their individual event and making it to the 400 finals. And, them talking about agents saying this and sponsors saying that. And some coach opted not to run them athlete because they want them to remain, get contract or either retain contract and all of these things. They made effort at the national trials and again, we were embarrassed. I think the minister, I think the J3 made
Yeah.
a big effort. I
Yeah.
think athletes were given housing and put up in a hotel. I think money was cash
Yeah.
price was put up for
Yeah, I
them
remember.
just to
I
try to
remember that
qualify.
man. Yeah. And we still
Um,
didn't make it.
you know what hurt the most about it?
Mhm.
Even though the cash price them put up, hotel and special arrangements were made for them to stay housing. They rescheduled the championship, the national championship event to allow them a full day to rest so that
Yeah.
the top three finishers in the 400 and probably the winners of the 4 by the 400 hurdles um could come together and get enough time to challenge, to run a time. They brought in some college athletes and they brought in countries, athletes from other country at
Yeah.
the J3 expense. And even though they did all of that, when the time come for these athletes to run, they did not turn up and they opted to pull out same way, even though
Yeah.
all of those things. Then we have to use some college athlete that gave a very mammoth effort, a very hard try, and still didn't qualify. And then these same athlete who said that them try to get in a final, none of them, not one of them, the four hurdlers nor the 400-meter runners, did not make the final. And they would have earned and we would have benefited from them being in the 4x4. And I'm sure that them would have get some mileage. They may not retain a big sponsorship, but them would have get endorsement or something like that would have come out of it because I'm sure them would have make it. So the 400 is in a bad spot. And I personally think that our 400 runners are too slow. Some of them, some of the ones who have struggled for many years running probably the 10-1, the 10-2, the 10-3, the 10-4. I think some of them need to take the chance and bear the pain because 400 is a tough event to train for. It is the hardest event probably in the world of all the sports. When they run one 400 and they take days for it to recover, and it's three different energy system you use, and it is very hard to train for. It's a tough event, and I think a lot of athletes do not like to do it. If you can remember, Usain Bolt started as a quarter miler,
Yeah.
and then him
Absolutely.
decides to no, and then to show you how tough it is. Even when him have him last season, him say him not run his favorite event, him rather run the 100 alone because even the 200 meters is hard to train for. Shelly would tell you how tough it is. The last time she ran it, she said, "No, sir, me a old man, me can't do this again." you know. So it is very tough. But I think that is where we have a big problem. And we keep seeing some um what we call them, guru, some veterans,
Mm-hmm.
some persons making the team. Some are winning. So Jamaica is very skeptic about a certain athlete or certain athletes that keep making the national team, no matter what. Some people even say, come like some of them are work over here.
Why?
but,
Trust me, you know how me stand with that. You know how me stand.
but the truth is, because a lot of these athletes, so-called upcoming athletes who have the potential to come out and qualify, because we have athletes who can do it. We
Yeah.
have athletes and they are not making themselves available. Some of these old athletes, such as a good friend, Big Boy, always make himself available and always try. Um, Jamaica beat him hard. And, you know, I get the opportunity to talk to him once. Since this year I saw him
Mm-hmm.
at a track meet. And I said to him, say, boy, big boy, you know, boy, what go on? I want to go on with you. And him give me some situation and said that most people in Jamaica do not know what he has to go through. Him always I feel back pain, and when nobody know want to run and them call him and he say, yes, him a go. When him not do good, then cuss him. So him no think say him a go want to run no relay with them back, and him no want go nowhere because I be a cussing him a get and whatever. But I mean, me no know still, but from me see the team again this morning, I am certain. Me know we would have trouble, but me never know it would have been so bad. It's embarrassing. Four by
It's,
four.
it's very embarrassing for the brand Jamaica. Remember, we are talking about Jamaica now. It's not an ordinary track and field nation. This is Jamaica. And to see our track and field way down the line, coming from an era where the Bolt era, and to see us way down the line, man. We only qualify for two finals.
Embarrassing. Hard
Two
hurt it.
finals to qualify for tomorrow.
But
The
Mr.
the the,
Dwayne,
the mixed relay and the ladies 4x1.
I can go further. I can go further. You mentioned Bolt, where to go back into history from 1948 and try to remember in 1948, 1952, our first gold medal for Jamaica, Sir Arthur Wint, was in that event. And we
400.
have Herb McKinley broke the 400-meter record more than one time. So we have a very, very, very rich history in that event. But
Mm-hmm.
those are the days when we had tough men running the event, training for the event and running the event. And I personally think that we can get back to where we are to get back to. But when it comes to relay and team events, we see where things that happen in other sport take its time trickling over into track and field, such as cricket, such as football, where when it comes to events and who make themselves available and team selection, we see where there are some challenges, and we just need to get it right. And they will run back tomorrow, but I don't know that I can't see based on the pool that they have there how great a difference it will make, because as I said before, if you don't have the best or you don't have the right tool to work with, as in the coach, it is very difficult to do the job. And if that is what they gave today, last we here say 6, but if 6 out of 6 are last, we have to just mark hard and done. Me not sugarcoat it. I don't know what going to happen different. I am not expecting much tomorrow because miracle don't work overnight like
Yeah,
that. And
I was going to ask you about tomorrow, and I was going to ask you about tomorrow. Should we expect any miracle, or then I was going to ask you, should we panic at this time? Because based on the training where they are now, and you mentioned it before, they are not at the peak where they are going. Should we panic? Should we say all the while and say, gee, what is happening? Or should we be calm
definitely,
and look forward to tomorrow to where the two final are concerned?
you're talking about the 4x4, right?
No, no, I'm talking about the two finals and overall, the events that, should we be panicking the men drop the baton, the 4x4 and so on. Our overall track and field, based on the training that is happening now.
Jamaica is in panic mode. We are in panic mode. The Olympic gone prove some things. We got most of our medal in the field, which is unusual. The track, something went seriously wrong. It wasn't a good year for us. And the truth is, in any track and field program, maybe high school or a country, there's a time when you are dominate, and then after a time when you have the change of the guard, you're going to have to take some beat up and rebuild and come again. However, as it relates to panicking, I think that the male 4x1 team with some more baton exchange practice and athletes being healthy, because that is another concern. If the athletes are not healthy right through where they can practice, because most of who is running the 4x1 first, they are local based athletes, if not all. When you come to think of it, all of them, all the athletes running both the male and female, they are locally based. Therefore, I think that something arrangements can be made for them to do some baton exchange. But it is always very tough because we don't know who will be the top 6 or top 8 when it comes to trial. But nonetheless, they are locally based, not far and apart. So I wouldn't panic too much for the 4x1s, to be honest, because I am hoping that tomorrow our males get it together. I know that in the 4x1 tomorrow, I'm not certain if there will be any changes to that team. Maybe what needs to happen is that the athletes need to be somewhat focused, because there wasn't any injury issue there. Or I think that the baton just didn't pass, and they are professional athletes, and they are adults, and they just need to focus and get the stick around and get it in the hands of Kishian safely and efficiently, and we should have a very good time to qualify us. Where my concerns is with the mixed relay and the quarter milers. That is where the serious concern is. I am very worried that they will qualify um, based on the pool that they have there. And if those are the athletes they put forward today, it simply means that those are what they have to work with. And if that is what they gave today, we can't see where a miracle going to happen tomorrow. So the 4x4 is a concern for us and should be a concern.
Talking on, I must tell you, I'm not surprised, but I'm very, very impressed. I'm sitting listening to the Chaka Field analyst, right? And let me tell you, based on a group that we are in, I just call upon you and say, no man, we have to do this, we have to analyze this day and so on. We're gonna stop it here, but I'm telling you, I'm gonna bring you back. Anytime track and field is up, we have the world champion and ship coming up and so on. We have to bring you back because we get a comprehensive knowledge, we get history, we get it. And I'm very, very happy, I'm very, very proud. But we have to stop it here. Tomorrow, as I said, Jamaica is in 2 finals. We'll be watching. I don't know if you have the time tomorrow, but anywhere we take it, we'll talk and you know and go through. But let me say thank you so much. I'm very,
Yeah,
very
man.
proud.
Yeah, man. Bless up. I must thank you to give me the opportunity to be on this platform. It is good practice.
Yeah.
And it is very good practice, and it anything new that is beneficial is always welcoming. you know, there are a lot of mothers tomorrow. Tomorrow's Mothers Day, a very important day.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. No,
And
no. We can't do that. We have to, yeah, yeah, yeah. Tomorrow is Mother's Day. Oh,
yeah,
my
man,
God.
no, we can do it, you know, we can do it, you know. I just want to say to you, and all
Yeah,
the viewers, and
yeah.
you know, big up to all of the mother them out there, whether
Yeah,
we, all if they now have no pitney and them grow somebody, big up all of the mother them, big up your wife, your mother, your stepmother, your baby
yeah,
mother, if you have none, your mother-in-law, your godmother, all of the mother them big up. And bless
yeah,
up
man.
president, one president, and
Yeah,
big
man.
up to all of my custodians them and all of the viewers them who are not custodians who watch this channel. So just go and tune in, and I'm gonna follow it up more. I must confess that, you know, it's not all the time I get to follow it up. So bless up
Yeah.
yourself, Prezi.
Yeah, man. No, man. I'm very, very proud, brother. I'm very, very happy. As I said, it was the plan. I just call on you, and the man just come in and deliver and just break it down for us. And let we are. Me, I learned. I have a better understanding of what is happening and so on. So, respect, bro. Respect. I tell you that.
Yeah,
Respect, man.
man.
We
Peace.
talk. All
All
right.
right, my boss.
Yeah.